Today we're in my kitchen because I'm gonna show you how to make fabulous Southern style grandma approved chicken and dumplings in a crock pot. Let's get right into it. For this chicken and dumpling recipe, you'll need cream of chicken, chicken broth, 10 to 12 biscuits out the can, onion powder, garlic powder, salt and black pepper, cumin, nutmeg, herb de Provence, white pepper, flour, and a rotisserie chicken. In addition, not pictured, you'll also need some carrots and some celery. Let's get into the next step. Okay, so first we're going to hook up our crock pot. You see mine? It's an old, kind of rusty old crock pot. And what I'm gonna do first is I put it up on 6 hours. I'm gonna first put in my cream of chicken. This is a 26-ounce can. So we're gonna first put that in here. If you can find low sodium, try to do that. Low sodium is always the way to go. Next, we're putting in low sodium chicken broth. Using a mixing spatula will make it much easier to get all of the cream of chicken out of the can. The cream of chicken to chicken broth ratio depends on your preference. If you're like me, then you may like a little more of a soupy type of feel, but some people like a thicker mix. If you like a thicker mix, then you add less chicken broth. While the crock pot is warming, I'm going to add celery and carrots. When adding ingredients, I add celery and carrots first because you need them to fully cook through. The chicken is already cooked and the biscuits are dough, and honestly, they don't take that long to cook, maybe 2 to 3 hours, if that much, on low in the crock pot. So I start with the carrots and the celery since they sometimes need a little bit more time. Next, I'm going to cut my chicken. I start with legs, then move on to the wings. I love to eat the skin of the chicken when it's crispy. It's a guilty pleasure. Never put it in the chicken and dumplings though. Basically, I pull apart all of the pieces of the meat and I put them to the side. Whatever is the most edible, I make sure that I'm always picking the best parts of the meat and the pieces of the meat, so when I'm eating, there's no interruption. I'm always defining the bite. Whenever I'm eating, I want to make sure that it's easier for me to eat so I can just gobble it up. I don't want to do any work when eating. I do all the work when prepping and when cooking. So keep that in mind. I always save the wings for later. I like to pair them with veggies. It's a smart move if you want to have like a little light lunch the next day or something. After I finish pulling the chicken apart, I set it to the side and I start on my actual biscuits. Here's the main event and my favorite part of making chicken and dumplings. It's dumpling making time. So I do my biscuits 2 different ways. So first, we're going to go over this first way where I roll out my biscuits as flat as possible without tearing them. Then I take a pizza cutter and then I cut them into little pieces. I try to do small rectangular sizing. That's kind of my ideal sizing and it makes it easier to eat. I never do the whole biscuit. Remember, I'm always thinking what's the least amount of work when it's time to eat. Now, you can make your own dough, but if you don't want to, biscuits is ideal. So once all of these are cut, I like to season all of them. First, I begin with onion powder, one of my favorite powders. I like to sprinkle it all over the dumplings and then, mix it in to everything. Next, I move on with Herb de Provence You can use this or not. It's an optional seasoning, honestly. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is like a bomb. It's a bomb seasoning for sure. Next, we're going in with white pepper. Undefeated ground white pepper. One of my favorite little, seasonings. You don't need this either. You can do basics. Cumin, you need it. You need it. Cumin is a must. So go in, sprinkle in all that cumin, get it in there real good. Next, you want to go in with some garlic powder. Always a must as well. Look, garlic, onion powder, you must have those, guys. Get them if you don't. You need them. Next, we'll go in with some black pepper. I haven't gotten any that you just, already have grounds, like the fresh ground black pepper that you have in the in a little container yet. I haven't gotten that yet. I actually need a whole new kitchen, but that's a different story. But we're going to put that in there. Next, we're going to go in with some nutmeg, just a smidge of nutmeg, not too much. Not too much at all. Then we're mixing everything in together. And you want to season your dumplings. I know you're thinking, well, what's the point of seasoning my dumplings? They're just going to go in here. It matters. Not only are we seasoning dumplings, we're also going to actually season the entire dish. So let's put them into the crock pot, drop them in, get them in there good, get it all. I wanted to show you a different way of doing the dumplings. Now, there's already seasoning mixed into the flour where I'm rolling the dumplings out of. And so I'm flattening out the rest of the biscuits. And by the way, I use about 10 to 12 biscuits. That's why I have 2 cans. There's about 8 biscuits in each can. You can use all kinds of biscuits. You can use flaky or what have you. But make sure whatever you do, you roll them out really flat. These are specifically buttermilk. I like to use buttermilk because I just like to also eat the rest of the biscuits later. The regular, normal way with some honey or some jam or some maple syrup. Anyway, getting back into this, we're going to flatten out all of these biscuits as flat as possible. Now, when you're flattening them out, you're flattening them already into the seasonings that were mixed in with the flour. So these aren't necessarily as seasoned or even seasoned like the others because you're flattening them out and they're already the seasons being like ingrained inside of it. So this is another way to do the seasoning. I'm no stranger to seasoning. Like I need seasonings. I need things to be seasoned, period. So definitely doing this, make sure you don't skimp on the seasoning aspect of it. From here, I'm also putting these in the crock pot and then putting the chicken into the crock pot as well. Usually I put the dumplings and the chicken at the exact same time just because it works better for me that way. But as you can see, I didn't do that necessarily this time with this second round of dumplings. Now we're putting in our chicken. It's already cooked, so it's very low maintenance. It's not much to say about the chicken here. Just make sure you put in a good amount. I used everything but the wings. So that's why you see dark meat and white meat. If you want to use the wing meat, you can. Sometimes you might want even more chicken. So that's your business. But I like to put about a whole roasted chicken and then mixing everything in just so it's all like saturated and cooks well together is definitely ideal. Next, I like to go in with a little bit more seasoning. So I love black pepper and I like to have a lot in my chicken and dumplings. So I'll be putting a lot of that into mine, as you can see. I'm also going to put in a little bit more cumin. Mix it all up. Then just put the lid back on. Next, I'm going to put like about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons maybe, of butter. Anywhere from 1 to 2 tablespoons is ideal. 2 tablespoons won't kill you though. This is super indulgent, guys. So this is all about comfort and being warm and enjoying like your food and just that comfort Southern food. So we're at the 2-hour mark, and we are going to mix this a little bit. Looks delicious. I tasted this already, so what I'm gonna do is add in a little bit more onion powder, just a sprinkle or so. Nothing worse than having Southern food and no seasoning. It's not really good then. A little cumin, some more black pepper, a little bit more garlic. I freaking love garlic. And then about a tablespoon of butter. Mix all that into the dish. Keep in mind this is high in sodium, so that's why I'm not adding salt, but if you want to add salt, that's your business. See big chunks of chicken. I have to break those up a little bit. So good, so thick. And you're gonna let it sit for another 2 hours. Here's the finished product. I had a friend come already and scoop up more than half, almost half, I would say, maybe more than half of this to take to her family tonight. But this is the finished product. Absolutely delicious. The right consistency for me. It's not too thick, but it's not too soupy. There are a ton of dumplings and nice chunks of meat and super hearty deliciousness throughout. Okay, so chicken and dumplings are done, and I am eating them actually. It makes so many servings. Oh my god, I have enough for like to freeze like half and then eat the other half for like the rest of the week. It's so much. I packed this bowl with quite a bit. Super hearty. Everything's easy to eat. I really try to do all my recipes based on the bite. Like I want to just be able to eat and it'd be easy to chew. No work. I just want to boop, boop, boop. Just eat. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely hearty and savory and comforting. This is really good. Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. If you like it, then press that like button and share with your friends. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more recipe videos, more foodie videos, fashion videos, and other lifestyle content, and also more F Factor and other types of diets. It's a whole different conversation. We'll have another day. Diet type of recipe videos. Thanks so much guys for watching, and I can't wait to see you soon. Comment below if you make this and tell me what you think. See you soon guys.